Hello everyone and welcome to the second video in the series of how to make Tetris inside Unity. In the last video, I showed you how we can create the cell prefab for each of these blocks inside the game. So next I'm going to explain how I came up with the setup I'm going to do for my camera. So let me first start by opening up the sketch from my last video. So as I discussed there that the whole of this game screen will not be used for the playing thing. So all of this blocks falling, line forming thing will happen inside a rectangular area inside this game screen. The rest of this uh, screen or the game window screen will be used for displaying UI elements such as my score, level, goal, and other things. So this rectangular region is basically a grid where each partition can hold any of these cells from any of these Tetris blocks. So to create this grid, we first need to think about its dimension. So I've thought that I will keep 10 partitions or 10 cells can be accommodated along the width and 20 along the height. So this is the version of my sketch where you can see the grid with all these grid lines. So each of this block uh, will be falling like this. So each of the cell will fit perfectly within each partition of the grid. So if my dimensions are 10 cross 20, so the bottom leftmost one will be 0 comma 0 and the right topmost one will be 9 comma 19. So now let's create the grid inside Unity. So I will drag my square sprite inside my hierarchy window, change its scale to 10 cross 20. Now to keep things simple, I would like to have my cell which is at 0 comma 0 at the aligned with the bottom left corner of my grid. So to do that, I will have to move my grid at 4.5 comma 9.5. So you can see that my square right now aligns with the bottom left corner. Also, if I take another of my cell and put it at 9 comma 19, you can see that it reaches to the top right of the corner in the grid. So it will be very simple to understand which cell is where in my grid. And right now in the game window you can see that obviously my camera is not able to capture whole of this grid. So we will need to move our camera to the same position and increase its size. So if I keep it at like 10, you can see that it captures it fully along the height. But to have something like this view, we need to increase its size a little bit more. I think 11 will be good. And I don't want this bottom region to be there, so I will move it to 10. I think 10.5 will be good. So yes, 10.5 looks fine. Now let's change the name from square to grid. I will also change my order in layer to -1 so that the grid goes into the background. Also, right now I'm not very happy with the colors, so I will change my grid to completely black. color, and I will change the background color of all my cells to a white kind of a color. So if I wish to change all of these background colors one by one, it will take a long. So I'm going to show you a little trick. You can just go inside the hierarchy search and type in the name and multiple select all of them, and then select color and then just change it. So I'm not going to make it complete white. I'm inside a light gray kind of a shade, and all of my cells are changed at once. But still, um, all of these cells might have changed their background color, but the prefabs, if you go inside the prefab and see, their background is not changed. So to change the prefab, you need to click on all of these and click on apply. Now you have to do this one by one because multiple editing of a prefab is not allowed. So yes, you have to select each of them one by one. If you make any change in a prefab instance, and then if you wish to save that changes to the prefab, you have to click on this apply button. So I think for now this works. So our grid and cells are done. Next we'll move on to creating those prefabs for our blocks.